Good afternoon. This is Robert Pulse coming to you from North Carolina. Let's get this all set up here so I can tell you what's going on. Okay, share. Should be sharing now. You should be seeing a screen. Uh, let's see if I can move this. I can move that. Okay, we're going to talk about using AI to identify locations in videos today. And it has some interesting twist. I'm neither a professional, and you're going to see that today, nor an expert genealogist, just an amateur genealogist like you. I've been doing this since 1992, and so I'm trying to share some of the things I've done, and maybe you can take a share some things with me and with the rest of the subscribers, so that we can all learn. This is a vlog. Like I said, it's a collaborative effort. Uh, I make mistakes. I've made one today, and we're going to talk about it. I want to give a big thank you to all those that have provided comments in the past. They've been so helpful, really have, and I hope that they've been helpful to my followers. I also do the videos for those that respond. I go too fast in my presentations that I do to societies. This is so they can stop the video and rewind it and see what I'm doing. They can also run it at a slower speed. That's all available in YouTube. All views expressed are mine. I'm a member of 7 genealogy and historical societies currently, and I don't represent any of them. They probably wouldn't claim me. I have two, one named Facebook sites that I help administer with other people. If you have any of those names, we'd sure be glad to take and talk to you about your family. Okay, the mystery. As you know, in my past ramblings, I was fortunate enough to get OHS to digitize my aunt's 16 millimeter videos and place them in the Oakland History Society YouTube site. The originals, by the way, are at the collection, at my collection at OHS. There's one video in there called the groundbreaking video, and let me show you that. Well, let's take it and go back to here. And that's this video down here, which looks like this. Let me pull it up like this. Okay, well, I've already started all this stuff. Okay, and it looks like this is a construction site. And we've been trying to figure out what's being constructed. What would my aunts be interested in? They were interested in the First Methodist Church, and they were interested in the Masons. And so we're going to take and ask AI what to do about this today. So here we go. Here we go. So I used Gemini AI. And now that we have these new tools, I thought I'd see what it would do. And the first thing I did is I went to Google search and I said, how do you do this? And it suggested the process I use is to clip an image out of the video and see if Gemini can identify that. So I clipped the image and I put it into Gemini, and it came back and it talked all about the crane. So this is the second round. And I said, remove the crane from the photo, enhance the remaining building and car, and use Google to locate the building and manufacturing dates and models on the car and truck. Hint, this may be Guthrie, Oklahoma, location in the 1950s, but verify. Okay. I don't know whether I pre-positioned it or what. Okay, and so this is what it did. It took the crane out of the picture. It took the car and moved it from over there to over here, and it took just that little back window of the car and converted it to this. So that it developed that car out of that piece of the video, and it did a pretty good job, I thought, looking at this. And so I asked it building identification. They thought that was the Masonic Children's Home, located at 602 East College Avenue. The car they thought was a 53 or 54 Mercury Monterey, and the truck is a General Motors truck, and they gave a time frame in the 48 to the 55 time frame. So it was you know, they're all within the range of what I'm expecting to see. God, I'm relatively certain that my aunt's got the recorder sometime in the late 50s. And so 55 is on one end of that. So the next, I said, the background building in your photograph is the Masonic Children's Home. So it told me this. This is the result. And it was construction, Oklahoma. Construction activities likely related to the development or demolition of one of the auxiliary structures on its large campus. Well, it does have a large campus out at the children's home, but it's there. This is not consistent with what the final result was. So let's go on. Uh, I had it review prompt 4. I had it review everything, and it came back with the oh, I took and put the video out there, and it came back and said this strongly verifies it, and said the probably is the Grand Lodge of the Masons. Well, that's interesting. It was being done in 1955, so that sounded very interesting. So then the groundbreaking ceremony for the Grand Lodge of Oklahoma headquarters, and most likely the worshiper is Master Ed Sabin, Sabin, and the other men in suits of the Grand Lodge officers. Sounds interesting. Sounds like we're moving along here. They're certainly selling me. They sold me for almost a week. I believe this. Likely contractor is the new Grand Lodge is C.H. Cohen, and that's pretty good. And then the architect is either Hank Parr or Nolan Moore Architects. So I decided to do some checks. And I did that today after I cut a video that just got to that point. So let's go to see these checks first. Well, let's first off show you all the stuff that Google did. Okay. So this is the process in Gemini. And here it is. I have it. Here's the picture, original picture. And then I say, remove the crane. And it does that. And then I asked and it identified it as the Masonic Children's Home in Guthrie. Okay. And they're talking about a 25-acre plot of ground. And so anyway, and they identify the car and the truck and everything. And then the background of the building is the Masonic Children's Home again, and so on and so on. And the construction, they talk about the dump truck, and it's a 28-acre campus, okay, on it. And confirmed details. They gave me details about the building, about the car. This is, I put the video in up here, and up here someplace. Here we go. Okay. I put the video in and told it to look at the video and check and see what was going on. I'm going to slow this down. You're probably getting dizzy. And construction projects and confirmed the vehicle is so and so and so and so. And then it comes down and it said, okay, here's the video. I just went back too soon. And so it went through and it says it strongly agrees with its original identification of the building and so on. Now, the interesting part about this is it's starting to put timestamps in here for the video, which is a new thing that may be useful in the future. And then they said it's the Grand Lodge at the state of Oklahoma. It was laid down in 1955. Okay. And so it keeps on going. And I did, since my family was in the construction business, I started asking stuff about the construction company. And you can take and see that. Most likely contractor was C.H. Cowan Construction, and kept on going with that. And kept giving me more and more information. It's really selling me on this solution, and I believe I fell a hook, line, and sinker for it. So I asked it for the history of the construction company, and it gave me that. I haven't checked these things; these may be actually accurate. And then I was trying to find employees in it to take and see if any of my family members worked in it. And so it gave me a basically all the information about the company I could handle, construction information, where to get the information, and even gave the best strategy for taking and trying to find the records. So I've got a research plan. I've got a question about if my family's employed by this company. Since this is my aunt's doing this, there's got to be a reason why my aunts are doing this. And I think I found it, and I will explain that to you in just a minute. And so I asked I know that my family was working for the Tankersley Trap Construction Company in 1948. So I was trying to take and figure out whether that would allow them to work for the Cowan construction on this project. And so I kept asking it questions like that. You can read these. I give you the link to this, so you can take and read it at your leisure. And I asked them if recruitment was likely, and they came back and said yes. The labor market was kind of thin, and they needed people. So anyway, that I got to all of that, and then I started thinking today. And the first thing I said is that building identified correctly. Well, no, this is the building, and this building, and let me get it up here. And this building are not the same. Sorry about that, Gemini, but they're not the same. Okay, so the system's undergoing maintenance. Okay. It took the picture off there for you, didn't it? Let me see if I can get it back. There we go. It still doesn't have the picture there. But anyway, they're not the same. You saw it originally. So then I went and asked about the Masonic history, and I got all kinds of things about the Masonic history, none of which included the building built in 1955. I was getting concerned whether there was any such building built in 1955. Well, that part is true. And here it is. It's the Guthrie Daily Leader, September 17th, 1955, page 1. Okay, this is the old folks' home, Masonic Home for the Aged right here. And I recognize it because I had my grandmother was in there for a while, and I went and visited her there. And other people in my family were there. Possibly these aunts were there, although I don't think so. I don't think this was operating by the time they needed it. And then this is the new building. So what's happening is, if you read this article, is that they're adding on to the home for the aged and building a Grand Lodge building. And here is Ed Sabin, Sabin, is the Grand Master, and he's involved in a lot of the ceremonies. So they've identified two things correctly. There is a building built in 1955, and it's there. And my aunts would have been interested in this. Uh, uh, this is getting to be pretty close. And so they have all the information here. Here's all where they got the money and all that stuff. So my aunts would have been interested in this, that they would have taken and gone down and watched the construction. And that would have been the big entertainment in the city of Guthrie at the time. So the next thing I asked myself is, where is this building located? Well, if you get enough information, you can take and look it up. And this link is in there in the thing. You can search on this, and it will come up with 102 Broad Street. All right, so now there's a lot of pictures in that video. Now this isn't anywhere near the the building that they identified as in the picture. This is downtown. The building they identified in the picture is the north part of town, and it's on its own campus. And like I said, it had 28 acres, and it was surrounded by open land today. They've taken down all the buildings that were out there. So this is what looks like from Google Street View of that building. So this is the original building. My grandmother was over in one of this wing. I remember it as though it was yesterday. Now, in the picture, you didn't see this building here. This is the building that's being built as part of this. Now let's drive on down the street a little bit. Whoops, wrong direction. Now you would think that maybe the video would have caught, yeah, this video here, which is the courthouse. Uh, and it was constructed by the same construction company, but it was done in the 1920s. So anyway, let's drive on down the street and turn the corner and go down here. And here's the new building. This is the building that they're building. So if the AI's got it right, when the shovel depot where people were picking up shovels is in the front of that building. This building doesn't exist yet, so they're digging that out, and it looks like they're digging out a basement there, and they're digging out for this one, the foundations for this one. So it looks like both of these buildings have a basement in it based on that construction thing. And they march right down this lane here to take and let me. This lane here to take and shovel that dirt. Now, they could have been shoveling the dirt there, which was right in front of the building. So if Gemini is correct and things are lining up, but now the problem. This building may be the building with the awning on it in the video. That's at the very beginning of the building. It looks like it could be. That building wasn't there. There was a white building there. And that's a possibility. That's a relatively new building. And this building would then have, this is a trailer park, not a trailer park, a motel. And you can see it's relatively new construction. Looks like 60s to me, maybe 70s. It would have to be where that building is, where the cranes are on the other side. Whoops, let me get over there without making you too dizzy. So that's relatively new. I don't remember that being there. So that's that. But I'm looking at, oh, by the way, I took and looked at it in 2008 because try and get it as old as I could. And you can do that up here to see more dates. So here's what it looks like in 2024. And here's what it looks like in 2008. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it in 2008. And that would have to be where that building is that I tried to identify. So it would be gone. Rest of these buildings down here, none of these appear in the video that I can see. So it's just kind of, if you go all the way down here we are at the back side of these buildings. Now this looks new too, and newer than 1955. Looks like that's been added on too. But there are the buildings, and you could take them and drive all around them. And they match the drawings and everything that's there. So anyway, it looks like it's made some assumptions that are basically incorrect, or some conclusions that are incorrect, but may have come up with the correct solution. So I've got a few questions for you. I'm not certain. Did we get the correct answer with the wrong steps along the way? Did we? It's a 1955 construction. It's a major construction in Guthrie. There weren't a lot of major constructions in Guthrie. So it's getting, it's probably 40% probability that it's the same, if it's not 60%. And what do you think? Have we identified the building or have we not? Uh, like I said, it's until I started doing checks. So I get that the message here is always check your AI answer. And it sold me. It got me. Okay, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. I'll respond to comments, but it takes a while. I'm not always doing genealogy. Please comment on additional topics you think I should address. And thank you for your time and viewing the channel.